First up, Eartha Kitt, That Bad Eartha. Looking fab on the cover there. 10-inch record, 10-inch mini LP I suppose you'd call it, from yesteryear. It's got amazing sound actually. Usually 10-inch records do not sound good. Check out Eartha's life story because it's quite something. She was a tough lady. I'd not seen this in charity shops before, otherwise I already remembered it. But looking it up, there seems to have been a 12-inch version as well, a full-length version with a couple of tracks added each side, and slightly different covers. Most of the other covers have got a black background. Never seen it before. I thought I'd get it. I'll keep that. It's entertaining, and as I say, very good quality. Next up was another 10-inch, the Foundations. Well, actually, when I saw Foundations, it kind of didn't ring a bell who it is. If it said The Foundations, I think I would have remembered. It's on the PRT label, which has had different designs over the years, but that's probably one of the better ones. But who can forget Build Me Up Buttercup, which is probably being played somewhere in the world right now, and a few other singles which I'd never heard of. The only trouble with this is a bad 10-inch. You are a bad 10-inch. It sounds terrible, and the original recordings that they've used for some of the songs are quite bad quality. And I don't know why some of the later songs on, well, were they later? I don't know. But some of the songs on side 2, it almost sound like demos. Yeah, so not. There must be better sort of compilations of the Foundations, who had many huge hits back in the day. This is not one of them. Won't be keeping this one, but interesting thing anyway. 10-inch long play, it says. 4 tracks aside. Yeah, forget that one. Next up, Joe Walsh. Well, you think Joe Walsh is going to be a bit rocking, and yeah, Joe Walsh in your face. It's quite a personality, isn't he? There he is there, look at that. Look. Pretending there's a wind. He's probably got a, what do you call it? What do you call it? Clothes hanger in there to make it look like he's winding. We know what's going on, Joe. You can't fool us with that dimple in your chin. So yeah, I was looking forward to this. Seemed to have been on many different labels. This one's on ABC. Was it American? No, probably not. Was it? No, made in the UK. But I played it expecting it to be rocking, but it's quite the opposite. I'm afraid you should have called it Joe Walsh Sleepy Joe album, because it's all sort of mid-paced, drab and lackluster, I've put in my notes. He has that unique vocal effect where he sounds like he's 2 rooms away recording his vocals, which works because you kind of know it's Joe Walsh, that's his style, but he's a long way from the microphone. Yeah, it's Sunday afternoon stuff. I don't know what was happening to Joe, but so what? Yeah, exactly. So what? Not a lot happening. I'll be keeping that. It's a bit of a disappointment. Next up, Lone Star. I'd never heard of them, but I thought I'd get it just by going by the pictures on the back. I've got some big drums here. Looked very rocky, so I thought I'd give it a go. It's okay. It's better than Joe Walsh, I tell you that. It's on a boring old CBS label. It's better than Joe Walsh. It's more rocking, that's for sure. But they sound like Bad Company. Of course, you must remember Bad Company. I don't know who was first or whatever, but yeah, I think if they came out at the same time, Bad Company and this, then you can see why they probably didn't do so well. And it probably hasn't had much money spent on it by the record company, by the sounds of things, because it's not the greatest of recordings. Sound-wise, it's good, but it sounds like they had very little time to execute the songs properly. But interesting. Yeah. Better than Joe, I've written. Lone Star Rock. Big drum sound. Won't be keeping it though. One I will be keeping is this. California Jam 2. Don't know if there was one. I guess there must have been. Only a 5 out of 10 for the design. Pretty bad. Very terrible. It seems it was never released on CD, or maybe on a bootleg CD. When I looked it up, I could only find a Japanese issue. But looking at other comments, it looks like a lot of people are saying, why did this never come out on CD? Probably because of all the bands on there. There's probably management issues and all this sort of thing. But, so what have we got? On side 1, we got Santana. 2 live tracks. Jugando and Dance Little Sister. Santana, they're on fire on here. I mean, they are in the height of their powers. You've got Dave Mason. He's okay, middle of the road kind of rock, kind of folky. Is it? Hart, side 2, you've got Hart and Ted Nugent. Yeah, best skipped really. Not a lot to say about that. But on side 3, you've got Aerosmith. 3 tracks from Aerosmith. Most of the other bands are only doing two tracks each. Aerosmith have got 3, and so they should. Same Old Song and Dance, Draw the Line and Chip Away the Stone. Aerosmith, it sounds really great. I want to listen to that again because they are definitely one of the highlights on this record. Side 4, you've got Frank Marino and Mahogany Rush doing 2 tracks. It's kind of okay, but he's trying to do a kind of a Jimi Hendrix kind of thing, Jimi Hendrix experience, but it's not really working. And the band with the last 2 tracks, Rubicon, I'd never heard of them. They're kind of middle of the road, kind of Doobie Brothers kind of thing. But the weird thing about this album is side 3, track 4, Jean-Michel Jarre. Now, how did he get on here? Everyone is American rock. And then you got little old Jean-Michel Jarre backing up the rear with his Oxygen Part 5. Now, he was never on CBS, as far as I know. He might have been on CBS in America. Who knows? But even when you look at the things on the back, the information on the back, hey, keep it down. Then when you look at the information on the back, it says Polydor label. So was Polydor the same as CBS? I don't know. But the thing is, when you look inside, it's got pictures of everybody. Everybody but, you guessed it, no Jean-Michel Jarre. Now, I'd love to know how he got on here. So it's quite weird going from Aerosmith, with all the Aerosmithing, and then suddenly you got Jean-Michel Jarre. Brilliant. And I don't think, is he on the front? See, look, he's not even listed on the front. Yeah, I'd love to ask him, Jean-Michel, what happened to that album? How did you end up on there? Probably some kind of management or thing. Maybe he had the same manager as some of these guys. Who knows? But that's a good one. Keep that one. Next up, Gordon Lightfoot with his textured sleeve. I do like this sleeve. I don't know. I mean, it's pretty basic. But I think I might just copy the design of that at some point. And there's a little picture down here sort of looking through a window. Is it? Kind of you're looking through a window kind of thing at a country scene. It's on the slightly darker UA label, darker than the UK ones. UK ones are quite lighter. This one's quite dark. Was there any inner sleeve? No, there wasn't. But I must get around to listening to this because it's probably before his commercial stuff. And sometimes with early recordings of well-known artists, they can be more interesting than their well-known stuff because they're not having to please the record company by writing a hit, etc. Gordon Lightfoot. Got to give that a listen. Next up, now these ones were very interesting. Cockney Rebel. Now Cockney Rebel's a band that obviously know and were in the charts with a couple of things. Sebastian was a great hit, wasn't it? Mr. Soft and that sort of thing. But I've never really listened to the albums, mainly because in the early 70s there were just so many great bands around. Very lucky to grow up in those times in the 70s, 60s, when there was so much great music around. So bands just passed you by because there just wasn't enough time to listen to them. You didn't have YouTube back in those days or any online thing, so you couldn't listen to it when you wanted to or very quickly and scoot through albums to see if they're any good. You had to maybe hear the one track now and again on the radio, on the few rock stations that we had. And you had to base buying the whole album on just one track most of the time. This is their first album, just called Cockney Rebel. Show the gatefold, loads of lyrics there, and some pictures of the guys there. It's just on a boring old EMI label. EMI, yeah, pretty bad, right? Now, it has got a title. I thought it was just called Cockney Rebel. Oh, you know what a weird thing is? The title doesn't appear on the cover. Now, I just realised that. How strange, because on the label it says The Human Menagerie. Now, hang on a second. Has it got it on the spine? Yes, it has. Oh, that's weird. Is it my glasses on? Is it me? Or is it the room? No, the Human Menagerie does not appear anywhere on the cover. How odd. I'm going to have to look up to see if that was a mistake. But anyway, what am I getting to? You can see why Cockney Rebel didn't quite make it generally, because the songs are just too good. And the playing is too good. It's very busy, very inventive. The fact that they've got a fiddle player, electric violin, mandolin and guitar, Mr. Jean-Paul Croca, the fact that they've got that makes their sound different for the time. And the songs are quite in-depth. Yeah, I mean, this has Sebastian on it, which obviously is a big hit, but I just don't find it a bit tedious. But I think that went quite high in the charts, didn't it? With a sort of truncated version, because the original version is quite long. But very interesting listen. I'm definitely going to listen to it again and look up to see why the title's not on the front. Next up, oh look, Cockney Rebel again. Yes, they were both in the 10 for £5 section, so I thought, yeah, they passed me by first time, I'm going to have a listen. This one is supposed to have an inner sleeve, but it doesn't. So I can't show you that because it's not there. This one was their second album. This had Mr. Soft on it, which was a great single. I mean, that's, out of the whole album, you can tell that's going to be the single. There might have been others that were released but didn't do so well. But I remember Mr. Soft being in the charts. Again, there's some real proper musicianship and proper songs. They're not going for commercialism at all. There's a song called Ritz, which is really good. Side 2 is almost like concept, kind of. I do believe the songs join together. But yeah, it's interesting stuff. Now, one interesting thing is the first track, Sweet Dreams. It starts off with a fairground sound, sort of mangled, slowed down, messed about with, so it's not super clear. You've got the fairground music and the bells ringing like you used to get on the old fairgrounds years ago. And I thought to myself, I've heard that before. And then I remembered where I've heard it before, Brighton Rock by Queen, who are also on EMI. I thought it's very similar. It's not exactly the same, but it's very similar. So I thought, now, who was first? So I looked it up. Now, this was released June 74. And Queen's album Sheer Heart Attack, which the track Brighton Rock is on, was released November 74. Ooh, very close together. And oddly enough, I do believe they might have been recorded at the same studio. So there's a similarity there between those two. This goes for quite a bit on CD, I noticed, so I don't think it's been remastered recently. But if they do make a remastered version of this or this, I shall look into it, because I'm sure if there's outtakes and extra stuff, it's going to be very interesting. Cockney Rebel, very nice. I'll be keeping that. Next up, Harry Chapin and his very strange cover. Now, Harry Chapin is kind of, I won't call him middle of the road, he's more than that, he's more interested in that. But a very unusual cover for somebody with this sort of space writing, and I mean, I don't know, what is that? What is that? I don't know, it looks like the surface of the moon or something. But it's Harry Chapin. There isn't a band. This is a live double album, kind of a concept thing. It's got interesting inside, actually. Let me show you that. Very nice. Illustrations and etc. It's got these inner sleeves with the lyrics. I mean, you want lyrics? Wow. He could write some lyrics, old Harry, couldn't he? Look at that. How does he remember that when he's on stage? Look at it. Wow. Really is story time. And that's the reason why it doesn't really do it for me. It's recorded really well. The musicianship is fantastic. Harry's got a great voice. It's on the Electra label with the butterfly. But it's just a bit too wordy for me. I'm more of a music guy. Music always comes first with me rather than vocals. I don't really care what they're singing about, or really, I'm looking for the whole thing, music and vocals together. So yeah, it doesn't really do it, but an interesting listen anyway. Last but not least is John Lodge, who sadly passed away recently. This is his album, I think this might have been his first album, solo album, Natural Avenue, with the, as usual, fantastic sleeve which all Moody Blues records had. It's quite a beautiful cover, and there's a picture of another sort of arty picture inside, and a picture of John there. Look at that, look at his hair. Wow. It's got a little inner sleeve thing as well. Look. Oh, it's very arty. You can tell that he's got a bit of money to spend on these things. Just a bit arty inside, with the lyrics, etc. It's got Chris Spedding playing guitar on some of the tracks. Kenny Jones on drums, was in the Who. It doesn't sound like the Moody Blues, which is good. In fact, one of the other guys, was it Ray Tice? His solo album doesn't sound like the Moody Blues. They definitely, once they were out on their own, they tried some different things. Side 1 is okay, but side 2 is very cheesy. Yeah. Now there's something I was going to say about this, about the label. I can't remember. Well, one of the things is these Decca labels. This label, the Decca label. Their labels always just stop short of the indent there to the actual plastic of the record. Hey, stop hooting. As I was saying, the label just stops short of the indent. You can see the lumpy bit there. Strange that. I've only ever seen that on Decca, I think. So John Lodge, there he was. And that was it. 10 records for £5. It's been a while because I just haven't found anything of interest recently. But strangely enough, that day they actually had 10 decent ones to buy. Usually I struggle to make up the 10. They actually had more than 10 really. There was probably about 13. There was a Melinda's Fine album, which I thought I got, but when I got home it wasn't there. And a few other things, but anyway, we'll have to leave that till next time. Right, that's it. Bye.